Aloha, and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center. Here on the island of Kauai in Hawaii, we present this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8, and record on our website, kauaidharma.org. I'm Lama Tashi. We give these classes so that people can have some experience in the Tibetan tradition of how to transform their emotional, we call drama mind, into the mind of awareness and higher knowledge and insight. When the mind has two natures, all sentient beings have awareness, and they have awareness of the nature of of the idea of a self and the world they're in, and also all the activity. And all of that put together is called drama. In Buddhism, it's called the relative mind, relative to everything that you sense and think about. This sensing and thinking connects us to the world around us and to our inner thoughts. But all of that is an illusion. And the illusion is caused by many, many lifetimes of connecting to this thinking mind. And there's another state of mind that we experience, but we're not connecting to it. We're not aware of it. And it's called the ultimate mind, or the mind of present awareness. And in that mind, there's no idea of a self or a soul migrating to other realms. There's no judgment. So we have the relative and ultimate truth of these two states of consciousness. So the Dharma is presented by the lamas of the Tibetan tradition based on Shakyamuni Buddha's transmission of Sutra and Tantra, so that one can connect to this other, more intelligent state of awareness. And we call that non-judgmental mind. So we have the judgmental mind and the non-judgmental. Once you correct the non-judgmental mind by removing the judgment, then another state of intelligence starts to manifest. And this more intelligent state of awareness doesn't have a goal. It doesn't have a ceiling, but it does have levels of what we call development. So in both states, we're growing and developing, but without the guidance of the Lama, who knows these two states and can point them out to the disciple, then there's no chance of gaining what we call enlightened mind or insight into the true nature of awareness itself. In Lama Rinpoche's book that we get from our Dharma Center in Honolulu, where you get it on Amazon, The Story of All of It Simply Said, Lama says, the practitioners who've experienced the ultimate level of their awareness tells us that we can have that with our senses, similar to which we have, like the image of a mirror. If we look in a mirror and think what we see is a substantial nature, it should mean that we should be able to reach out with our fingers and grasp the image. This points out that the thought is like an illusion. But we know the image of our face in the mirror is a reflection and does not have physical reality, and that it is different from the reflection. This example is how we use the Dharma to reflect the true nature of our awareness so that we start to know that everything that we sense, everything that we think about, everything that we are experiencing in the relative state is an illusion. And eventually we start to accept the fact that there's no such thing as an I or a self or a soul. And when that illusion is corrected, then in its place comes what we call an infinite state of development. Evolution is a better word. And what that means is, in the relative state, you're limited by the idea of the self and thinking that the thoughts and the world around you is as it appears, when in fact it's an illusion. But when you move away from the idea of a self and a soul, then the infinite mind starts to take place. That's the first stage of insight. And in that state, there's no limits. It's what I like to say, outside the box. And as you move more into that acceptance of this true state, then compassion increases for those that don't have the least inkling that this is the way things really are. And from the ultimate viewpoint, once the illusion is corrected, this is the essence of the meaning of illusion and the essence of the meaning of insight awareness. And all of that was in 2 paragraphs on 1 page in Mama's book, The Story of All of It. When we move to accept the Dharma, we must understand that it is not really the idea of Buddhism. Buddhism is a grandiose idea that if you believe in the Buddha and follow to certain teaching, that everything's going to be all right and that you will experience heavenly states and omniscience, knowing everything. But that doesn't correct the emotional program that we've evolved with over many, many lifetimes. And this is where Tibetan Buddhism has completely mapped both natures of the mind and how to correct them in a way that's acceptable and appropriate. And we start with this by taking refuge. And refuge is not really in Buddha. Buddha is simply meaning that which is mature and is applied to the human condition. But what we're really doing is transforming all of our conflicting emotions into states of higher intelligence and awareness. Because these emotional energies are so powerful that they carry their own, what we call antidote. So let's say that you are a very angry person, get angry easy, upset with yourself, others, can't handle what the environment is throwing at you and so forth. That anger, that hatred, that rage is so powerful that it carries its own antidote. And the antidote is called mirror-like wisdom. And what this simply means is understanding that everything and everyone in this universe that you sense and think about is totally interconnected to you. And that all of that is your support. And in the human condition, that's a very, very important fact. And that is a Buddha training ground. It's called the Aksobhaya Buddha field of mirror-like wisdom. And you take the powerful energy of this anger, hatred, rage energy and use it on itself. And as it dissolves, you more and more accept the idea of loving kindness, which is really why you're here, how you're here, loving kindness. Who demonstrated that to you? Your mother. She created you. And nobody wants to accept that that's how you were created. They've got these religions that say, oh, God created you, or you were made out of this and that. You are made out of the 5 elements of which everything in the whole universe is created. And that's how you got your body. Understanding that, we apply that to the Buddhist, this Tibetan Buddhist tradition, that every factor is like the mother's loving kindness for an only child. In fact, the name Lama is 2 words, La Ma. La means honorable. Ma means mother. And so that is really the correct thing to think of your Mama Guru. So now we're going to take refuge in the idea that every sentient being in the universe was once your mother. And therefore, out of kindness and gratitude to them, we have what we call the altruistic motivation, which is to bring every single one of them to understand their true nature and become what they already are, Buddha. And so the first phrase of enlightenment that we take refuge with is exactly that. And it goes like this. In order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we now all together take refuge and, when possible, offer prostrations. Then we take refuge in this, with that altruistic motivation, which sets us apart from every other type of Buddhism and religion on the planet, and take refuge with the 3 jewels and the 3 roots. The 3 jewels, all Buddhists know as the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. But only in Tibetan Buddhism do we have the 3 roots, which is the Lama and the peaceful and protector deities. So we chant this prayer in Sanskrit, which is how all of the Buddhist teachings have been spread around the planet to all the cultures. We'll say the altruistic motivation first. Da dong jo wa nam pe da dong yang pe sem chen tam che du di ne jung te ji si zhang chu ning po la chi pi bar du. Well, then the refuge prayer. Well, then lama dampa nam la jam su chio yedam chokor gi latso nama jam su chio sanjay chom den de nama jam su chio Dampe chur nam la jam su chio Bao Bei Gendu Nam La Chan Su Jio Awo Gandro Chokyung Su Me Sho Ye Sheki Shendang Dempa Nam La Chan Su Jio. And in English, we go for refuge to all the glorious holy lamas. We go for refuge to all the yidams, who are the deities gathered in our mandala practices. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those humans that have conquered their mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. And we go for refuge to all the noble Sangha. We go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these 6 refuges possess the eye of transcending awareness. Then we take refuge in bodhicitta, the bodhisattva training using the 6 perfections. We'll chant that in Sanskrit and then say it in Canadian. Sanjay Chodang Choki Chodang La Jeng Chu Pardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Nagi Jin So Ji Pen Sonam Pi Chola Benjer Sanjay Chu Par Sho. In English, to the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing the 6 bodhisattva disciplines, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. My mother. Now, the refuge prayer in Sanskrit or in English is the one of the 6 supports, the 3 jewels and 3 roots. And that's the prayer that you say when doing prostrations. The Bodhisattva prayer is also said 3 times, but that's when you start to do whatever daily practice you're doing. Now, in Tibetan Buddhism, we have the path, we have 2 paths. The foundation path of both Hinayana and Mahayana practice. And then we have what we call the preliminary tantric path, which is the path of direct awareness, which is pointed out to us by our Lama Gurus. And both of these together are based on what is called an ordinary preliminary practice, which has 4 parts. The first part is you accept that you have the 17 precious situations, which are 8, you have 7 what we call obstacles to practice, which have been eliminated through your good karma. And you have 8 accomplishing situations, which help you in practicing the Dharma and accomplishing what you are practicing. That's the first thought, that you have a precious situation and you must use it. The second thought is that everything is impermanent, everything. And you apply that to your own situation, that you don't know what's coming first, the next life or the next breath. So you better practice now. The third thought that turns the mind to Dharma practice is you have karma. And this karma is following you like a shadow from lifetime to lifetime of all your positive and negative tendencies that you've accumulated in these lifetimes. And you must practice the Dharma to abandon the negative and enforce the positive with guidance of the teacher. And the fourth thought is conditioned existence. Everything you think, say, and do is somebody else's idea from birth. That's called, you've been conditioned. And that's unfavorable. Because in your own mind, you already have the state of absolute truth. That conditioned existence is called relative truth. Why do they say that? Because it's relative to everything, everybody else. And you have accepted, and now it's penetrated your whole thinking mind. You think that's the way it is. And you have to be that way. You have to live that way. No. And then if that isn't enough, everything's constantly changing. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, which causes pains physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So those four thoughts. You're a precious human existence, you better practice Dharma now. Everything's impermanent, so you should practice Dharma now. You have karma, so you should practice Dharma now. You have suffering from conditioned existence, so you should practice now to get out of that situation and move into a state where there is no change and there is no pain, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The Buddha put it this way: there is suffering in the cause of suffering. There is happiness and the cause of happiness. There is a way or path out of this situation of pain and suffering. And if one takes this path, that's an end to all forms of pain and suffering. So we have these, that was one of the first teachings of the Buddha. The second teaching is he went to heaven to tell his mother, thank her for giving him birth, because she died from a week after giving him birth, and telling her that she was in a situation that is not permanent. Heavens are not permanent. And when you leave this heavenly situation, first of all, don't get angry about it. And second of all, choose a human birth. Come back into the human condition and obtain Buddhahood. Because it can only be accomplished in the human condition. And all of that is on the back of this page. One side is the refuges, and the other side is the four thoughts that turn the mind to Dharma. And then down in the right-hand corner, we have these four immeasurable thoughts, which we apply to ourselves, others, and the environment around us. We wish all beings to be happy. That's called loving kindness or metta. We wish them to be free of pain and suffering. That's called karuna or compassion. We rejoice in their happiness regardless of our own conditions or situation, and do it wherever we can to bring them into a state of bliss. That's called mudita. And finally, wishing that we see each situation without attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, or stupidity. And that when you've accomplished that, you're a Buddha, and that's called equanimity, upaika. May all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all beings be away from suffering and the cause of suffering. May all beings be established in the bliss through our practices, and may all beings be free of we call it the emotional afflictions of attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, stupidity, bewilderment, ignorance, hope, fear, anxiety, depression. Get it? Happy son. Now we practice. Now, what I said about the mother creating you using the 5 elements, and that is how everything in the universe functions, appears, and disappears, is earth, water, fire, air, and the space that these elements exist in is called the relative situation of the universe. But for us, those 5 elements are our health program. And we have this practice of connecting to the breath, which also keeps us alive, in a more powerful way to increase the elemental energy within the body and bring healing energy through psychic connection to these elements in the world around us. And so we're going to do the 3 lights meditation and use that to connect to the 5 elements healing meditation practice. This is called the 3 lights breathing meditation is called Prana Yoga. Sit with your back straight, hands comfortable position on the knees or in the lap. Head slightly tilted forward. Mouth closed, breathe through the nose if you can. Eyes open and soften the gaze to the space and light 2 feet in front. When you have these positions, then simply bring your awareness, your focus, to your breath. Inhale, diaphragm expands. So you're breathing down into this lower part of your abdomen. Exhale, diaphragm contracts. Now, with this connection to the breath that sustains your life force, then you bring your powerful mental energy to code it with 3 lights, 3 colors of light. The white light that you inhale and fill your lungs is the light energy of the elements of the world around you, with the element air. Then the middle breath is the red light absorption of those energies through every cell in your body. Then with these 2 color codes connected, you exhale blue light out your nose as a powerful healing breath available to others which inhabit space around you. So focusing on the breath, inhale, visualize white light filling your lungs. The red light energy passing through every cell in your body. And these 2 color codes together are the blue light, exhale out your nose to space. The white is the energy of the universe. The red is the transformation of that as a light support and healing energy to your body. And then these 2 together are generated as a powerful healing breath out to all beings inhabiting space. There isn't any place in the universe that beings don't exist. Now, breathing with this 3 light color code, count 21 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1. 2. When you reach the 21st breath or count, take your focus off the breath. Collect the 3 lights, white, red, and blue, and create a tiny particle of light and visualize it to be centered in the center of your chest, creating what is called the heart chakra. In Tibetan, Sanskrit, it's called a bindu. And in Tibetan, it's called a tigle. But what it is an energy center that connects you to the infinite healing energy of light that exists through boundless space. When you connect to this infinite situation of space, simply be present and aware, alert, no meditation. It is the mother element, and without it, the other 4 could not exist. So we take the space, light, energy, and again connect with this tiny point of light in our heart chakra and visualize it to grow into a small sphere of clear light. And the moment you start to create that small sphere, you are moving from the dimension of space into the 3-dimensional situation of our universe, our world. And as this small sphere grows in size, imagine it to create one of the 5 symbols of the elements used for this healing energy practice. Tonight, we're going to use the element of activity, motion. We use the word karma, movement, which is symbolized by the air element, as a half sphere of green light created from the spatial element and the small sphere of clear light. It expands into this half sphere of green light about the size of your thumb, located in the center of your chest, in the central channel of your life force. Visualize it there and label it air or gas. Then when you can see it very clearly, like a bowl with a lid, as I said before, small, about the size of your thumbnail, visualize it to move out in front of your chest and up before your eyes, arm's length in front. And now what you are imagining is actualized, because the air element exists in the same space as that half bowl of green light, half sphere of green light. Now visualize it to grow in size large enough that you can see it encompassing your body. So just as you are, you visualize yourself sitting comfortably in this bowl, maybe room size. Of green light. All the elements are working together in this situation, but we're emphasizing the air element for healing purposes that help us physically and mentally. And this is called the psychic application of this healing practice. Then we start to share it with the world around us that is all a part of our interconnectedness and our healing program. So with your imagination, expand this half sphere of green light to encompass an area about 50 miles in diameter. Reimagine the island of Kauai and surrounding ocean inside. And then at that moment, the healing energy that we apply to our bodies is now applied to all the sentient beings in that area. Then imagine it to grow in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere. So again, the actual and imagined are the same thing. Then imagine it to grow inside to completely enclose our solar system. Planets, sun, everything for billions of miles in every direction inside this half sphere of green light. Then expand it in size to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy. Then move beyond the boundaries of your conceptual mind and merge it with boundless space. So that this healing energy pervades to everyone, everywhere in our world. Simply stay present and connect to the sky of your mind. Then return from this dimension of spatial awareness, again inventing the half sphere of green light to enclose the galaxy. Condense it in size to just enclosing the solar system. Smaller yet to just enclose Mother Earth. Then a large area of the town, city, or area where you are doing this practice. Then bring all of that in its condensed form into the half sphere enclosing your body. Then finish the practice by reducing the sphere to the small original size in front of your eyes. Bring the half sphere to chest level and into your heart chakra. Shrink it to a tiny particle of light connecting with the infinite light of space and relax in voidness. Which is the ultimate nature of everything. Simply be present and relax. And with your body and mind enhanced by this practice, bring your awareness to in front of your eyes and spread its influence into your area of practice. Then, because you're in Bodhisattva training school, everything that we do, practicing the Dharma, is dedicated to the benefit of all sentient beings in the universe, all the animals, all the humans, and all the spirit. And that practice you apply to all your activities, dedicating the merit, the virtue of the practice. Now these healing practices that treat remedies applied to whatever type of pain, suffering, disease, sickness that we're experiencing, both to the cause and to the indications of the disease. Fall into both the Hinayana and Mahayana tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. The Hinayana practices are usually all those healing practices designed for the individual. The Mahayana practice are both that and applied to all other sentient beings, and also includes our environment. And when we move into the Mahayana, either with the Sutra or Tantra practice, you are moving into the path of what is called skillful means. And these extraordinary practices in this path are mostly to deal with the cause, which is the unstable emotional afflictions that we believe to be real, which control our way of thinking and being in the world. And these have come into our situation from many previous lifetimes. But this life, we have a chance to not only experience relative and ultimate healing, but emotional stability. So that we are not constantly bothered by our own mind's emotional activity. And that requires the deity, the Lama as the deity. And so in Tibetan Buddhism, in India and Tibet, and now all over the world, they've introduced 1,000 deity yoga in 42 peaceful categories and 58 protector categories. And each one of those deities has both a male and a female role model called the rainbow body of whatever deity practice the Lama introduces according to our situation. So that's 1,000 deities in both male and female form. Actually, it's 2,000. But all of those are condensed into the Chenrezig, the Buddha of compassion. And all of the relative situations of the world, the elements and so forth, are condensed into the consort of Chenrezig called Tara. Now, these two introduce you to many, many other different modes and types of practice. But you must remember, every practice is equal to every other practice because each one enforces in the same way all the others. And so when you are practicing this Chenrezig, you are introducing into your mind a state of ultimate concern for the well-being of others, infinite. And at the same time, the energy of that, the energy produces the power to produce outer, more appropriate situations in your relationships with others and the environment around you. And the reason for that is because of the insight that goes with the compassion and power of the practice of its true nature, which is voidness. And that's the word Buddha, how it appears as empty, Buddha, appearance and voidness. And so you keep that in mind when doing these practices, and that is why they're all called rainbow body practices or illusory deity yoga. Now, with the deities in the Tibet tradition, Chenrezig is the embodiment of compassion, power, and insight, but compassion is emphasized. And then the insight is that same deity moves into an action mode of the deity Manjushri, which causes knowledge and insight to arise together because of the compassion. And when that happens, you not only have the insight, but the knowledge of what it is and how to use it. And then those two together grow into what is called the power of the practice as a protective deity to ward off harmful activities aimed at your body and your mental process. So these three we're going to practice tonight. Chenrezig with the seed syllable mantra and visualization. Manjushri with the seed syllable mantra and practice, visualization of the practice. And those two together with Vajrapani, the protective aspect of these two to ward off all outer obstruction caused by others, caused by yourself, or the environment. And that Vajrapani also presented with the seed syllable and the mantra. So first we do Chenrezig, the seed syllable, Shri. Now the Shri is the mind of the deity as a Buddha of infinite light, which is the nature of all your thoughts and everything that exists. So this is called the creation, vibration, or sound. That goes in the center of your heart's center, surrounded by a 5-colored sphere of light, and it sits on a lotus sun and moon disk, which means it's only applied in the human condition as the deity Chenrezig. Then Chenrezig appears either 2 or 4-arm. In our Kagyu tradition, we start with the 4-arm as the rainbow body of the deity. Then, with the Lama's description of the deity, you become the body, speech, and mind of the teacher as this deity. So the Lama and the deity are always inseparable. Then with that in place, then you project that, the vibration of that, to the mother that created you and all mother sentient beings. All the animals, all the humans, and all the animals in the entire universe as this rainbow body, the 4-arm Chenrezig. When you do that, the mantra appears. That's the cause of the mantra. It's not something made up, it's the vibration of you applying this to the 6 rounds of emotional rebirth, which all sentient beings are cycling through. And it's to break up that cycling activity, individually and collectively. And when that takes place, as the Buddha said, ultimate healing, physically, mentally, emotionally, and most importantly, spiritually. And the situation of your worldly existence becomes the permanent activity of the Bodhisattva. Sit with your back straight, hands in a comfortable position, mouth closed, eyes open, head slightly tilted. Bring your focus to your breath. Inhale, visualize white light fill your lungs, hear the sound Om, which is the healing energy of all the light energy in the boundless space into your lungs. Then the absorption breath, that all of that permeating every cell in your body to hear the sound Ah, was the vibration of that healing energy activity actually taking place in your body. Ah. Then you exhale the blue light out to space with the sound Hum. And this is the infinite application of this energy physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to all beings, all sentient beings. Inhale white light into your lungs. Om. The absorption breath of the healing energy through your body. Om. These two codes together as the blue light out your nose to everyone in space. Om. The infinite healing remedy energy of all the sources of refuge is Om. Now visualize these three sounds received from the Lama's three lights. The white light from the Lama's head into your head, the red light from the Lama's throat into your throat, and the blue light from the Lama's heart chakra to your heart chakra. Then you see the Om in your forehead, the Ah in your throat, and the Hum in your heart chakra. Then the Lama melts into you like water into water. And this becomes, when that takes place, then the three lights all connect into the heart chakra, and you see the sound Shri. When you can see the Shri in a five-colored sphere, then you become Chenrezig. White, made of radiant light, flashing rainbow spheres of healing energy, young, healthy, male aspect, three eyes, two hands together in front of the heart chakra, palms together. Right hand holding a lotus symbolizing ultimate compassion. Left hand holding a Vajra or a mala symbolizing direct application of voidness, insight. Sitting on a lotus sun and moon disk symbolizes taking birth in the human condition to train the minds of human beings to become bodhisattvas and Buddhas. Whereas a five-jewel skull connecting to all five Dhyana Buddha family symbol. Five colors of silks and the five radiant, we say, activities of the elements as the Tara. And six kinds of jewelry, ears, necks, arms, ankles, belt, all of that is the six bodhisattva disciplines. You are three-dimensional and made entirely of light. Your ordinary body disappears and this takes its place. And in this way, you bust the illusion that everything is solid, fixed, and permanent, which it is not. When you can see yourself 3D with the Shri in your heart center, you visualize your mother in front, life-size, as the deity. Right? We say mirror-like image. And you project it to your father and all your relatives, friends, lovers, everybody you have karma with this life. And on this planet today, 7 to 8 billion humans. Chenrezig. And you project this symbol to all the animals in the ocean and on the land, infinite in number. Then you project it to all the four categories of spirit filling the universe. So in this way, your mind is completely absorbed in the mandala of this deity and its activity of compassion, power, and insight. And once your mind is filled, as all sentient beings as a deity, the six-syllable mantra appears in your heart chakra. Each syllable a different color, surrounding the three, and they're arranged clockwise with the Om in front. Om, Ma, Ni, Pe, or Pod, either way, Me, Hum. Om, Ma, Ni, Pe, Me, Hum. In India, they say Om, Ma, Ni, Pod, Me, Hum. Same mantra. And as you say this mantra, light blazes from your heart center from the mantra and the Hri through every light channel in your body called nadis, and out is healing energy to the world and beings around you. And as you say the mantra, you think every being in your mandala doing exactly the same thing as you are, infinite in number. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 When you sound this mantra of compassion, the six syllable mantra, each syllable is a different color, circling the Hri. It starts to move clockwise with the letters facing outward. And they blast energy through your body and then out to space. And the Hri also. The Hri is constant. The mantra vibrates with your voice sounding the mantra. And all beings in your mandala equal to you as Chenrezig. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Breathe. Now we just said the mantra 108 times, which is how many beats on the Tibetan mala for counting. 100 are the 100 deities. 5 are the 5 dhyana Buddhas. And the last 3 are your body, speech, and mind, connecting to those 5 dhyana Buddhas' energy fields and whatever deity you're practicing. To accomplish the Chenrezig Mantra, it is said that 108,000 or 100,000 recitations of this mantra should bring that effect. And with it comes more and more, we say, energy of intelligence to compensate for the energy of thinking. Thinking is limited, but in the other nature of mind, thinking is an obstacle because it's not necessary. Because you've established these higher states of intelligence, of compassion, power, and insight, you can let that go and rest in the void nature of the other development of insight. And that is the free, or the state of infinite light of your own situation, your own representation in this universe of sentient beings. There are many, many depictions of the Chenrezig, but the one that my root Lama Kala Rinpoche asked us to use is the 1,000-armed, 11-headed Chenrezig. Again, with the hands in front, the lotus, sun and moon disk in the standing position. And then he has the mala in the right hand and the lotus in the left. And 11 heads, 3 watching the human condition, 3 watching the heavenly condition, and 3 watching the lower realm condition. And then the 10th head is Vajrapani, or the protective aspect, and the top head is the culmination of all this together as a mature human being in a natural setting, so in an earthly setting. On a lotus, sun, and moon sit depicts that, and then in front, the offerings of the mandalas to the peaceful and protector aspect of this deity. And 1,000 arms symbolizes the 1,000 deities that are always available when you say this mantra. And the Shri is the Buddha on top. And we'll do the protector practice tonight with Vajrapani. So we're going to say this mantra again and see how you feel with 1,000 arms with an eye in each hand and 9 heads watching all the higher realms, middle realms, and lower realms sentient being. And infinite light blazing through the universe. So sit with your back straight. Same seed syllable Shri, which is the symbol of the Buddha on top in the heart center. Be the 1,000 armed Chenrezig, standing, 11 head. Where you're going with this is the top head. your Buddha nature, mature, infinite evolution. Apply this to all mother sentient beings. In the body or in the bardo of becoming. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum, 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 Mani Mani Padme Hum, 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 Mani Padme Hum. Creed. Now the mantra of the six-syllable circular heart. The Om is to clear the God highest celestial realms of arrogance. They're called the arrogant gods. They're the result of all the religions, of pride. And you see that with the energy of the Shri, purifying that into humility. And you see that happening when you're saying the mantra with gold light from the Om of the six syllables, clearing the celestial realm. Then the Ma, the second syllable is green light, clearing the war and war god, or all the demigod realms of jealousy. The third is the Ni, clearing the human realm of all forms of neediness. The Pe clears the animal realm of all forms of ignorance. The Me clears the deprived spirits, called entry ghosts, of all of their energy of greed, never being satisfied. And the Hum clears the hell realms of all the hatred, anger, rage, and terrible dispositions of those kinds of sentient beings into loving kindness. So knowing this, the six-syllable mantra is the activity of the Chenrezig, purifying and doing away with this need of the I, me, mind to emotionally rotate through these illusory realms of existence. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, And Omani Baby Om, 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 Omani Baby. Now, sentient beings take birth in infinite ways. So, as one group is purified and passed into this realm of day watch in, and the next group appears. That's where you need 1,000 arms and body, speech, and mind of the Bodhisattva, watching them like children in each of these three high, middle, and lower realms. Standing in action. Om Mani Baby Om, 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 Mani Baby Om, Om 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 Mani Baby Om, Baby Om, Mani Baby Om, Mani Baby Om, Mani Baby Om. And the six bodhisattva activities are in full play. Generosity, morality, patience, perseverance, meditative concentration, and insight, all in play with the path of skillful means of this 1,000 armed Chenrezig as the ultimate healer. Om Mani Baby Om, 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 Tree. So you end the mantra with Om Mani Baby Om, Tree. When you enter into the Shri in your heart center, then all of the 1,000 arms, all of the heads disappear, including the Buddha head, into the Shri in your heart center, and that disappears into infinite space. And you sit and stay in this state of voidness, like space. It is called the Dharmakaya, the all-pervasive nature of your mind, as the accomplishment of intelligence. Sit present, no meditation. Whatever arises, sensations of the body, thoughts, come from space, appear, and disappear back into space. Don't judge, just watch. trick in this second stage of Mahamudra practice is to stay present. Don't follow your thoughts or any type of sensation that arises, any experience. Don't attach. Don't go 1 second into the past or 1 second into the future. They don't exist. This present moment is the activity of your Buddha nature, intelligence. It's called awareness. Take this. Now, the second practice we're going to develop tonight is to take this state of awareness and develop with the Chenrezig as Manjushri, which is a state of omniscience. So we have compassion, power, and insight. And omniscience is insight. It seems the all-pervasive nature of your mind applied with intelligence so that you understand the void nature and how to use it for healing. And when you do Manjushri, it appears from the heart of Chenrezig as a two-armed deity sitting like Chenrezig, and a sword raised in the sky to cut off the idea of self, soul, an entity existing, existing separately in a state of separation from the world around him, from everybody around him. And it's in the same energy field as the Chenrezig, but with mirror-like wisdom. So everything is image coming in as a reflection of a mirror, and then doesn't disturb the mirror. What is the mirror? Manjushri, who knows and how to use that knowledge of both states of awareness, the relative and the ultimate. So you sit with your back straight. The C syllable is D, which is the sound of the energy of light itself. It's visualized with the lotus blooming by the left ear with the heart sutra sitting on it of Prajnaparamita, the mother of perfect wisdom, which states that all form is empty and all this emptiness is form. No separation. You apply that to your body, your thoughts, and the whole world around you. And then you use the energy of infinite light to purify your own state of how you are in the waking stage, dream stage, moving out of the body stage, next life, and so forth. But you take the energy of these deities on this path of skillful means, and you know how to use it by doing this practice of Manjushri. Sit with your back straight. Visualize the Om, Ah, Hum in your three places. The Om in your forehead moves down the central channel to the red Ah. These two connect to the Hum in the heart channel and change into the seed syllable D, which looks like this, like a U on its side with a hook over it. Inside a 5-color sphere of light in your heart center. So this is the vibration of all light. Any energy that produces that, either in the mind or in the world. Then, with the D in your heart center, light goes out to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and comes back into the D. The Lama that gives the guidance melts into you. You become Manjushri. Dressed in silks and jewels, with the orange reddish complexion, sitting on a lotus and sun and moon disk, and has the blazing sword cutting off your egocentric mind and chopping it up in little pieces. But never forget, Prajnaparamita, the mother of perfect wisdom, produced all of the deities, all of the Buddhas, and are now the mind of all of the lamas of this tradition, back to Shakyamuni up to the present, all in this practice. Om, Ah, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, Soha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. And just like the Chenrezig practice, you project this image of you as Manjushri, replacing your ordinary body with this rainbow body of compassion, power, and insight. Project it to your mother and friend, and all mother sentient beings, all the animals and humans, all the spirits in the universe. Manjushri. And you manifest this in your mind, fill your mind. This keeps you present and blocks thinking. Om, Ara, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ara, Pa, Nadi Soha, Omara Patsa 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 Nadi Soha. And with all sentient beings as this Manjushri, that is the manifestation of your Buddha nature and infinite knowledge together. So intelligence and knowledge are working together. Then you see all sentient beings as Manjushri with the first letters of the mantra as a sword. So the D is on a sword standing up in your heart chakra like this. And the Arapatsa Nadi is on 5 other swords laying flat. 6 other swords laying flat, pointed to the 6 realms. All of them blazing with radiant energy of insight. Then you say the mantra like this with that visualization. And each sword purifies each of the 6 realms of emotional rebirth, heaven to hell and in between. Om Ar Ra Pa Sa Na D. D is on the sword standing up. So you bring all these 6 realms into the state of infinite light. Om Ara Patsa Nadi. 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 Om Patsa Nadi. Om Ara Patsa Nadi. Om Ara Patsa Nadi. Om Ara Patsa Nadi. Om Ara Nadi. Om Ara Patsa Nadi. Om Ara Patsa Nadi. So then all 6 realms of Manjushri dissolves into you. You as a central figure Manjushri dissolve into the D in a 5-color sphere of light together with the mantra. All disappears into the D. Then you focus on the D only, and as you sound the D, you blast light from your heart center out in every direction, as far as you can imagine, even like a supernova. And then the whole universe becomes a realm of the Buddha of infinite light, Amitabha. Focus on the D. Sound it. D, 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 D. Pulse it. D, D, D. D. Relax, be present and aware. And out of this energy field of infinite light, Chenrezig and Manjushri, compassion, power, and insight, manifest as the protector, which is the 10th head of the 11th head, Chenrezig, and it applies to all the protective deities, of which there are initially 58 categories. And then all the Dakini energy. And so these are the protectors, these are the ones that manifest the Buddha's activity in the world. For instance, creating stupas, creating dharma centers, creating places of practice, monuments, and so forth that are based on all the dharma principles. Any form of healing ritual instrument, termas, which are discovered practices set up by the Buddha and Padmasambhava and other teachers. So all of that comes under the protective energy of Vajrapani. And Vajrapani is standing 2 arms on your body, your potential corpse. And in his right hand, he has a Vajra raised, and his left hand a bell. And when he is sounding the hum, it has no limitations. It's an infinite manifestation. So it covers the 5 categories of emotional conflicting energy of the mind. It covers all curses and hexes by people using witchcraft and voodoo and all kinds of religion. It protects you from all religions practiced with wrong motivations, and it protects you from harm from spirits, animals, and humans in the world around you, and also protection from the environment. So this is Chenrezig Manjushri in the protective guise of the head of the lineage of the Buddha Shakyamuni, of Padmasambhava, and down to all the Ru Lamas, my Ru Lama Kala Rinpoche, and the head of the Kagyu lineage Karmapa, and Lama Rinchen, who just passed away on the 17th of the month, last month. And today his body was cremated. All of those manifest in the protective. So we say this mantra and we start with the hum, which is this seed syllable, chanted 10 times. Hum, 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 body, speech, and mind. Hum, 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 body, speech, and mind, and all the qualities together in practice. And then the result is the 3 kayas. Om, Om, Om. Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. Then we say the mantra, visualizing ourselves as Chenrezig Manjushri, all in one, wearing a necklace of 51 heads with a tiger skin shod top and dancing on a corpse on a sun and moon disk with a blazing dome of fire in the same earthly setting as all the other deities in the night sky of your mind. Om Vajrapani Om Pe 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 Om Vajrapani Om Pe. And the awe is Vajrapani. All the energy of the universe in one powerful protective force. Om is the energy of that entering into you, and the home with the pay at the end is all of it applied to the protect all sentient beings from their own selfish nature. Om Vajrapani Om Pe 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 Om Vajrapani Om Pe. I was calling all the Dakini energy who accomplishes the activity of all the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. Om Vajrapani Om Pe 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 Om Pe Om Vajrapani Om Pe Om Vajrapani Om Vajrapani Om Pe Om Vajrapani Om Pe. Vajrapani purifies all the 6 realms of existence. All of the 6 realms becomes the ornaments that he wears in his stance in the bardo of becoming. He is the mind of the Lama as a protective aspect, like a mother for her only child. Unconditional in every way. Non-judgmental. No reaction to thoughts or outer situation. In a state of increased evolutionary intelligence based on voidness, compassion, and insight. So the home dissolves into the clear light of your mind like the night sky. Be present and aware. It's talking to you. We finish our practice tonight by dedicating the merit of accomplishing these three practices, Chenrezig Manjushri, Vajrapani, for the benefit of all sentient beings, gain to enlightenment, realization and Buddhahood. Kewa di nudu da, chagya chempo drugirne, jowa chinki malupa, te sala gopar sho, sanjay kusa nimpai chimladam, choni megar nimpai chimladam, gendu miche nimpai chimlaki, chitar gongwa mola, chupar sho. And this prayer is at the bottom of this refuge sheet for those of you that have it. By this virtue, having realized Mahamudra may quickly establish all beings without a single exception in this state of awareness. Through the blessing of the Buddhas who obtained the three kayas, through the blessing of this unchanging truth of the Dharma, and by the blessing of the unwavering aspirations of us, the Sangha, may this and all dedication prayers be fulfilled. May all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings be happy, free of suffering, established in bliss and equanimity. Om Ra Om.